Blood had.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, Roundtable Network News, Episode 3. I'm the franchise. That's your boy, Double J, Josh James, and we got Husky from Husky's Funhouse, and we got the mixologist, Substance Chemical Julian, joining us here live for the first time in a long time. We are all here for the network news. It has been a crazy week. Josh, you and I have been talking all week about the craziness that has happened. Yes. AEW just had their big show the other night. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, AEW has been drawing so many big matches, so many big houses lately. We've been talking about how, we wanted them to start doing smaller shows and smaller venues because they were not drawing people. Well, they brought the boom this week because during AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view, the 0 hour had the Costco boys, Big Boom AJ, the Rizzler, and Big Justice on the show, taking on QT Marshall. And ladies and gentlemen, the match was really good. And I think the first 4 minutes of the match, AJ did the double axe handle on QT Marshall. Yeah, broke his foot.
Bam.
And continued 15 minutes into the match.
Yeah,
with a broken foot. Earned the victory in front of 10,000 fans.
Show must go on.
I would tell you this, as a professional wrestler, you get hurt. Sometimes the adrenaline keeps pumping and you want to entertain the fans. But AJ, tons of ring rust. The guy's been in business for a while. Stopped wrestling a long time ago. The dude, him and his son, huge YouTube success. What do you guys think about this?
I think this is good for AEW, actually. Because so far after that match has happened, I've seen nothing but people talking about that match, and I think this is good publicity for AEW. I could be wrong, but I think this is actually a good thing. It sucks that he got injured. I think that's the part that sucks.
Yeah. I know for a fact that AEW was trending on Twitter. Mm-hmm. On X, whatever you want to call it this week. AEW was trending. WWE always talks about how they're trending. But AEW was trending. Right. So I think that's pretty effing good. Julian, what did you say?
So from a business standpoint, I have no idea who the Costco guys are. I've never seen any of their online content. I've never seen any of their TikToks or whatever the hell they do. So when AEW brought him out, I was like, who the hell is this guy? I didn't know who Big Boom AJ was. And him having these two kids and this Rizzler come out was ridiculous to me. So as a casual fan who, I hate to say it, I am get off my lawn old man. I mean, that is me. I did not know who these people were, and I was like, this seems ridiculous. However, the number of views and followers that he has and the kind of exposure this gives to AEW to the casual viewer who may never, ever watch professional wrestling ever again, and that they may click buy for that one pay-per-view is good for business.
Well, I'm 100% think that it was a good idea. You and I, Julian, we saw Logan Paul,
Yep.
WWE. We were like, what in the hell is this guy doing
shit
here?
on that match.
We
did. Yeah.
We talked so bad about that match, about him in this match, and then when he showed out, I was like, bro, I apologize.
I was the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are the same way with AJ. They're like, bro, this guy's gonna shit the bed, dude. He's gonna suck. And the guy came out and dude.
But I mean, he's a trained professional wrestler. He's been doing it for years. So I mean, that part of it, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some other things. AEW, not only hitting big with AJ, and the sense of the internet, like totally blowing up the IWC, Twitter, everywhere, hyping this up. But they also have this thing that's going to be happening pretty soon. That a lot of us, we talked about this for months before it was even announced.
And years.
Their stupid TV deal. But dude, we all said if WWE can go to Netflix, why can't AEW go to like Cinemax or Max? Well, ladies and gentlemen, AEW ahead of AEW Dynamite and Collision will be debuting on Max January 2024. The streaming platform already announced the following, that streaming to Max today for 70% off. Destination for a must-see entertainment from HBO, Warner Brothers Pictures, and the DC Universe. Hey, eligible subscribers can take advantage. Oh, stupid thing. Shut up. Eligible subscribers can take advantage and explore all of Max's.
Professional, damn it.
Listen, all that Max can offer. HBO originals like The Penguin, House of Dragon, The White Lotus, The Last of Us. HBO originals like Dune, Prophecy. Max originals like The Sex Lives of College Girls. That show is funny as hell, by the way.
If you
shows like
Penguin, you are doing yourself a disservice.
Shows like Hacks. The show's funny as fuck, I'm telling you. But you also now have AEW. Not only do you have AEW's Dynamite and AEW Collision, but you're gonna have pay-per-views as well.
Yeah,
bro.
Bye Thriller.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
Hell, a good deal.
Yeah.
So, me and Julian talked about this a while back about the Nielsen's and all that other bullshit. The ratings war is over, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why. Streaming services don't give a fuck about your ratings.
No, they don't.
You can watch AEW at 3:00 in the morning. You can watch AEW live. You can watch AEW fucking next week, and it's not going to really matter because people are still watching it. Just like WWE going to Netflix, like we talked about this, NXT going to the CW network was a great deal for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it sucks for people like us who watch on the West Coast, and we have to we get the earlier time, the actual live show. And now we have to wait till 8:00 to watch it. I mean, it is what it is. But if you have the CW app, you're watching it just like NWA Power. More eyes are going to see these products now because everyone has these streaming services.
Yeah.
So I think HBO. I think Max broadcasting AEW is going to be great. I think Tony Khan did a great thing by. Oh God. I said the word "great" like 6 times. I must be a Tony Khan media scrum.
Are you okay?
I must be a Tony Khan media scrum because.
Are you okay, Blood?
I hope so.
Okay, Blood?
I think it's good for AEW to have something like this. I think it's stupendous to have another opportunity to share your amazing shows to a greater audience. Yeah, I had to throw one in there. So AEW has been doing a lot. Digging themselves out of the dirt. And another thing that we've been talking about, the AEW is finally bringing back. And Josh, I hope you should go ahead and put that back to where it was so I can click on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, starting this Wednesday is going to be the AEW Continental Classic.
Continental Classic.
Now, me and Julian had an issue with the Continental Classic.
Big issue.
Huge issue. Like it was big because. For one, it made no fucking sense because the rules kept changing. And Tony Khan came out and he talked about this great thing he was going to do. Tony Khan loves tournaments. He loves tournaments. He's like New Japan. He loves tournaments. And I love tournaments too. I love watching matches and the brackets and all that other cool stuff. I like watching that. But when it doesn't make any sense, I need to understand. So AEW Continental Classic, the rules are the Continental Classic is a round robin style tournament consisting of 2 leagues, the Blue League and the Gold League, with 6 competitors each. Each entrant will have 5 individual matches vying to become the top point earner in the league. The tournament winner will be crowned at AEW's World's End, which is December 28th, the last pay-per-view of the year for AEW. Live on pay-per-view. Now, Julian, can you tell the people what the Continental Classic tournament rules are?
I have no idea.
They're right there.
I still have no idea. So anyway, for the Continental Classic, the franchise player Bad Blood is going to have out his stopwatch because allegedly there's a 20-minute time limit.
20 minutes.
And if you have ever watched our podcast within the last 2-3 months, you know that the franchise player Bad Blood is a stickler, an absolute stickler for that 20-minute time limit. When you are 20 minutes, when you're 19 minutes in and they go, oh, there's 6 minutes left, he's going to throw a fit. Because AEW prides itself on being about professional wrestling. They pride themselves on being all about the matches and wins and losses count and the integrity of matches. And the time limit, like the TV time limit, is integral to the match itself. So in these brackets, if you get a win, you get 3 points. If you get a draw, you get 1 point. And everyone is banned from ringside.
Everyone?
That last part is very important because if someone is not banned from ringside, does that lead to a draw? Does that lead to a qualification? Like what happens? So if me and Bad Blood are having a match and Shane runs out for Bad Blood as he would, and Josh runs out for me, does that automatically make it a double DQ where it's a draw? Like how does that shake out? Now,
good question.
Last time we saw that, there were wins and losses and 3 points got you there. And, that's how people advance. But the point system is what gets you to the finals. Now, you're probably thinking, hey, isn't there a Continental champion right now?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Does he lose his title automatically? Is he automatically entered into this bracket?
Oh.
Is he defending it? Like, how does this all work? It's just like when what's his name had 2 titles and said that he was going to put them both up.
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston said he was going to put both titles up in every match, and I don't think that happened.
I think he lost like the first 3 matches. So the confusion was, if he's defending the belt, he was the AEW. He was the Ring of Honor World Champion and New Japan Strong Champion.
Correct.
So he was like, I'm putting up both titles in this match, to become the Triple Crown Champion. In all those matches, but he lost the first match, so technically he wasn't the champion no more.
Exactly.
That is true. Yes. Yeah.
So that's where the confusion comes from. That's why I'm glad they actually came with the rules. 20-minute time limit, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. If you lose, you just lose. Everyone banned from ringside. Like, I'm cool with that. As long as the rules are enforced, not like, hey man, we messed up. Let's just go with it. Let's just see how it turns out. You can't do that when you announce something on TV. It has to be the way you're putting it out there.
Exactly.
So let's go, Shane. Josh, scroll up. Let's talk about the people in the Continental Classic. So, no, you can go ahead and show everybody. So right now, this is the bracket, or not the bracket, but this is the way it looks. We have the Beast Mortal we have the Blue League. We have Kazuchika Okada, who is currently the Continental Classic champion. My thing is, this tournament should be to challenge for the championship, but that's just me. We have Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, new TNT champion Daniel Garcia, former Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, the gold standard Shelton Benjamin, and the Beast Mortals. And on the Gold League, Julian, who do we have in the Gold League?
In the Gold League, we have got Darby Allin. Interesting. Claudio, that's a given. Will Ospreay, given. Ricochet, a given. Brody King, interesting. And Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson.
Now, Josh, will you scroll up and show the bracket, zoom in on the bracket so we can see the way it looks? So, Gold League, we have Darby Allin, Claudio Castagnoli. We have Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Brody King, and Juice Robinson. So the way it works is like in New Japan style. During the New Japan, it's the G1 climax. You have certain brackets, right? So the first round we have this week we have A block and B block. You're right. This week we have Brody King taking on Darby Allin. So we got the first and the the fifth ranks. So basically what happens is if Darby wins, Darby gets 3 points, Brody gets 0. Now in this tournament, they have 5 individual matches. But here's the caveat, ladies and gentlemen. They're each going to get 5 matches in each bracket. So you'll have the Gold League guys having 5 matches each. Mm-hmm. So each one of those guys will get to wrestle each other. And then the blue bracket will do the same thing. The winners of both brackets will then face each other at World's End to determine the Continental Classic champion. So, Josh, when is that going to be? And what do you guys think when it comes to this Continental Classic?
It's going to be at AEW World's End. That's going to be taking place December 28th, live on pay-per-view. I'd like to hear what Husky thinks about it first because I'm still thinking on it.
I like the idea of the tournament, but like Babla said, I really think it should be the winner that has the most points to face Okada and not Okada being in it. Because I feel like Jay White should be in the blue league instead of Okada. Because it'll be like Juice Robinson and Jay White on both opposite ends right there. But that's just me on that one.
What about you, Julian?
Shelton Benjamin versus...
Oh, wait.
Shelton Benjamin versus Will Ospreay.
Ooh,
that'd be a good one.
Aerial Assassin versus the Gold Standard?
Yes.
Well, I know for me, a match I'm looking forward to Okada versus Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yes, definitely.
A match I'm actually looking forward to is a big man match of Brody King versus Black
Mortals.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the go-to here in the finals is for it to be Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think for all the hype that Shelton Benjamin has had for his return, I really think Shelton Benjamin versus Ricochet would be a banger too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Shelton Benjamin, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Will Ospreay, Shelton Benjamin, Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's right.
That's when he's the muscle man right there.
But then what about Beast Mortals and Brody King?
Oh.
That'd be great too.
That would
Darby Allin versus Okada will be very interesting.
Yeah, they would be.
Oh my God. Yeah. Darby Allin versus Shelton Benjamin would be great.
Like,
Darby Allin versus Beast Mortals. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can see Darby Allin selling the Rainmaker like, oh my God, like he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think that like that would be a superior tournament than last year had some great matches.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Every one of them did.
But you know,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I think this tournament, in my opinion, is going to outshine the first one.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There's so many great things that can happen.
Yeah, because with the wrestlers that are on this in this tournament, could be banger of good matches. Like we were just talking about that. Like some of these guys who have never wrestled on AEW, and there's a lot of picks right here. They could literally be anybody that could win.
I mean, we have a bunch of first time matches too.
Yeah,
A
so
lot
that-
of first time matches.
and that's what
Well,
makes
I
it
think-
better.
I think that Darby Allin versus Ricochet will be a good match. Juice Robinson versus Will Ospreay, of course, will be a good match. Brody King versus Claudio will be a great match.
Oh my god, please.
Okada versus anybody. I mean, come on.
Yeah, seriously.
Kyle Fletcher versus Daniel Garcia will be a very interesting match also.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the same block, I think.
And Briscoe, he's going to be out there. Really, he's going to be putting some stank on it. Let's put it like that.
I mean, remember Briscoe was the one that had 0 points all the way up until the semifinals where he won the last 2 matches.
Correct.
Which that was luck. That was luck.
I don't know, man. But can you imagine? Let's dig deep real quick. A lot of first time matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shelton Benjamin versus Darby Allin. That's the first time match. Even though the Indies didn't face each other. Shelton
Never?
Benjamin has never faced Will Ospreay.
No.
Correct.
First time matches. Juice Robinson and Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin and Danny Garcia. Kyle Fletcher and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada and Shelton Benjamin.
On the way, can they face each other on the same block?
They have to face each other on the same
Oh
block.
yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Shelton Benjamin and Mark Briscoe have been in a match, but it was the Briscoes facing the world's greatest tag team.
Yes.
Am I wrong? Did that happen?
Yeah,
That
Ring of
happened.
Honor World Tag Champs. Yep.
Okay, so they faced each other before, but never in singles
Yeah,
competition.
it'll be a one-on-one singles match for the first time ever if they face.
They could even bring that up if they face each other. They could literally they have the
Considering the amount of time that Shelton Benjamin spent in Japan and never faced Okada, this is going to be a banger.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to seeing this tournament.
I
can't wait to see it.
Well, it starts Wednesday live on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. We'll be here live watching it. I'm excited for this tournament because I think that all of these first time matches are going to be bangers. I think that it's finally going to showcase AEW the way AEW was meant to be.
Correct.
You know, Tony Khan created AEW. He said he wanted to be an alternative to WWE. You know, he wanted to be, pro wrestling center, pro wrestling center. And Tony Khan, and this is just me and my thoughts. Tony Khan's always been a New Japan mark.
Yep.
yeah.
He might the
Yeah,
first person
it's
he
well
wanted to work with. The first person he worked with when he formed his company was New Japan. He loves Japanese wrestling. He has, and what do we see in Japanese wrestling? We see tag team, we see tournaments all the time. As a matter of fact, right now in New Japan, going on right now is the New Japan World Tag League.
That's true. That's true.
It's a tag team tournament league. So
in Japan, it is an endless tournament.
there's always tournaments going on in Japan.
Yeah.
And that's and these tournaments go for days.
Until
Guys can wrestle 4 or 5, 6
or-
days in a row in
Yeah.
tournament action. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best part about it for me. You finally get to see AEW for what AEW was supposed to be, as opposed to what AEW is being touted as being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Also, too, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was kind of predictable who was going to win last year's.
very, very much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so for this one, it could be anybody that could win, actually.
I don't even know who's gonna be in the finals for this. Well, I have no clue.
It could literally be anybody, and that's the best part. Like I said, it was kind of predictable who was going to win last year's, but for this one, it could be anybody, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to seeing it in this tournament.
Well, let's switch gears real quick.
Okay.
I want to talk about TNA. It's not really talked about that much, but I want to talk about it because TNA has been doing a lot of changing of the guard, so to speak.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, Turning Point, TNA pay-per-view this Friday, Turning Point. This report is courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider. We listed a TNA championship match, Eddie Edwards challenging TNA champion Nick Nemeth, formerly Dolph Ziggler of the WWE. The Knockouts champion, Monster Slamovich, defending the TNA Knockouts championship against former champion Jordan Grace in a best of 3 falls match. So obviously 2 out of 3 falls. Can we see Jordan Grace regain the championship, or is she really going to be WWE bound when her contract ends? Who knows? But this is a match that TNA has made famous for Thanksgiving. The Turkey Bowl match. We got Eric Young versus PCO versus Brian Myers versus Joe Hendry versus John Schuyler versus Hammerstone, and the loser has to wear a turkey suit.
Can you imagine PCO wearing that turkey suit?
Can you imagine Hammerstone's big ass in the turkey suit?
Joe Hendry being a turkey.
But here's the thing: Joe Hendry would own it.
Yeah, I just see him gobble gobble, gobble gobble.
I believe in the turkey.
I believe in turkeys. Yeah. But then we have the TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardys. That's fucking weird to say that. Team with Ace Austin to take on Kushida and the Rascals.
Bless you.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
So Kushida and the Rascals taking on the Hardys and Ace Austin. First off, let's give a quick shout out to Chris Bay. Get well soon, my friend. Chris Bay, Ace Austin's tag team partner, lost the tag team belts to the Hardys. And during that match, that's when Chris Bay got hurt. So we have also
on the Chris Bay.
I don't have any updates as of late. I've been looking for him all day. Steve Macklin taking on friend of the channel, the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, in a no DQ match. I gotta get Josh Alexander back on the show to talk about that. Mike Santana, former of Santana and Ortiz, taking on Frankie Kazarian, the number one. Is he the number one contender for the TNA Championship?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that's their pay-per-view live this Friday. I believe it's on it's on airing on TNA
Sherlock TV or TNA Plus.
Yeah, they're gonna be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So yeah, shout out to that. Josh, what else you got for us to talk about?
Let's see. So far, I think we covered it.
I mean, damn, there's a lot to talk about this week. Man. Shit just popped in our pockets, and yeah. I know that this Continental Classic thing is gonna be pretty good. AEW did a Continental Classic comparators reveal on YouTube. They listed the top 12 competitors. They did that last night, courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider. Yeah, it was a pretty intense thing, man. AEW is doing the most. I want to talk about the AEW show that supposedly got canceled, the stadium show.
No, it's not canceled. It might move to a different venue in Australia.
Yeah, I'm glad because there's been a lot of. And that's one thing on this show. We like to make sure that we don't spread any bullshit. We like to give you 100% like the truth. So yeah. Backstage at AEW Full Gear, though, there are a lot of people. This report also courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider. Danny Cage from the Monster Factory was backstage, him and his family. Yeah. Keith Elliott Greenberg, who was a wrestling historian and a historic writer for several magazines, he was backstage. Steve Macklin from TNA was backstage at AEW.
Wow.
Interesting. Of course, legendary photographer George Napolitano. If you don't know who the fuck George Napolitano is, you don't know wrestling. That man's pictures have been in every wrestling magazine, everywhere. He was there. Vladimir, the super fan, and his boy Ringside Charlie were there backstage. And believe it or not, a man who made a surprise appearance at GCW, your boy Ricky Starks.
Oh yeah,
was backstage, and Ricky Starks showing up at GCW, bro. Crazy.
That was nuts.
Crazy.
And I guess him and Matt Cardona are gonna have a match on January 19th of the biggest GCW show that they have.
That's going to be a epic match.
That's gonna be interesting. I kind of want to watch that.
I kind of do too.
Well, courtesy of Mike Johnson from PW Insider, Ricky Starks was in the building. GCW Dream. He disappeared from AW programming for a while. Appeared at GCW's Dream On event. Ricky Starks came out down the escalator. Didn't that remind you of Lex Luger showing up at the Mall of America?
that was
first
a
Nitro?
caption. That was a caption too. It was like, man, he showed up at GCW like Lex Luger did in WCW.
Bro,
He wasn't even wearing white like Lex
Yeah,
Luger.
he was.
I just wish he was wearing the Lex Luger poofy white shirt. Like,
So Ricky Starks voiced his frustrations at GCW. He was like, one thing about me, passion runs through my blood, and I'll be damned if I sit at home and I get frozen out. I'll be damned if I sit at home and let my career dwindle. Bro, Ricky Starks and GCW, get it, boy.
yeah.
I'm surprised he's not in the Continental Classic. That would have been a great
Dude, I don't know what they're doing with Ricky Starks at AEW, but they need to get their heads out of their ass. The guy's a fucking bona fide star.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He just is.
I'm with you on that one.
And speaking of the Continental Classic, who do you guys want to win the Continental Classic?
Shelton
Well,
Benjamin.
I don't want Darby Allin to win.
Shelton Benjamin.
I kind of want Kyle Fletcher to win.
Oh,
After the match he had with Will Ospreay, I want Kyle Fletcher to fucking win, dude.
I was not expecting Kyle Fletcher to beat Will Ospreay.
Can we go back to what we were talking about when we were discussing the predictions? I said we're having a new TNT champion, and I said Kyle Fletcher was going to beat Will Ospreay.
My best friend Jack Perry lost. I'm sad about that.
The downfall of the elite.
Mm-hmm.
One time I choose Jack Perry, he failed me.
Well, I mean, at least it wasn't Riddick Moss. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Whoa.
Julian will never live that down.
I'm sorry, Julian.
Julian would never live that down, man.
That was one of the first few days I joined the podcast, and
What
Julian wanted Riddick Moss to win so bad. He was
so
counting
bad.
on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. Then we're going to come back with the closing segment here on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. We will be right back after these exciting messages.
When you want to get your hair cut, you go get your hair cut right. You head down to Big D's Barbershop. Big D's Barbershop, Vancouver, Washington's best and brightest. 1019 Main Street, Vancouver, Washington, where you can go get your hair lined up, cuts, fades, shampoos, conditions, and all the great things that go with supporting a local barbershop in a local business area. You can also reach them online at www.bigdsbarbershop.com. Go get your haircut right.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, it's Angelina Love, one half of The Beautiful People and one half of NWA's Psycho Love, and you are watching the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. Today in wrestling history, 1991.
91.
Kamala, and not Kamala Harris, not Kamala Harris, but Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter, defeated Jerry the King Lawler for the USWA Unified Heavyweight Championship in Memphis, Tennessee. Man, that was a great night. 1992 WWE Survivor Series was held in the Richfield Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio, headlined by what? Bret the Hitman Hart defending the WWE Championship against the WWF Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels in the ring. The return of Mr. Perfect Kurt after being away for a whole year. It was also the debut of one Yokozuna.
Wow.
Now, the WWE had a bunch of screw jobs, and you know, world title screw jobs. I mean, there's a famous one, the Montreal screw job, but this screw job happened in 1985, Madison Square Garden. More than a decade before Bret Hart stepped in the ring in Montreal for his screw job, the WWF Women's World Champion Wendy Richter, riding on a huge high for popularity, doing part of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. Wendy Richter, who was managed by Cyndi Lauper at the time, lost her WWF Women's World Championship to a masked lady wrestler who was called the Spider Lady.
Yes.
Who Penny Mitchell, who usually plays that character, who was managed by the Fabulous Moolah, wasn't the person actually under the mask, but the longest reigning woman champion in history, the Fabulous Moolah, pulled the mask off, and she was the one who was the WWF Women's Champion. So yeah, the big screw job right there, ladies and gentlemen. Big screw job.
The biggest.
Grande screw jobio.
Yeah. Huge screw job. In 2008, the WWE released the History of the Intercontinental Championship DVD set. A lot of y'all don't know what the fuck a DVD is. And also in 2008, the WWE broadcast its first episode of ECW on Sci-Fi.
I remember that.
On Sci-Fi, Jack Swagger beat Tommy Dreamer in an Extreme Rules match. The Miz and Morrison. They said that they're the best. They're the greatest tag team ever. They're debuting matching outfits on that show. The Boogeyman also showed up and scared the shit out of them. Matt Hardy came out saying that Jeff Hardy was at home getting better after the WWE title bullshit. Hornswoggle was backstage stealing candy from Mark Henry.
Hornswoggle.
We had DJ Gabriel defeat an unknown opponent. Todd Gresham interviewed Alicia Fox. Mark Henry and Finley had a no contest after Hornswoggle and Mr. Feats himself, Tony Atlas, got involved.
That's funny.
The Hulkamania. In 2009, Hulkamania tour ran in Brisbane, Australia. Yeah, don't give a fuck about that. I had a friend that was on the tour, so shout out to her. We also had a WWE broadcast superstars in Toronto. No one cared about that either. There was a lot of stuff that happened back then. TNA Impact Wrestling. Oh wow, I don't want to talk about that. That was a horrible night TNA Wrestling. I want to talk about that. Yeah, so many things happened. Bob Ryder, a legend in this world of professional wrestling. Bob Ryder was a magazine columnist, writer. Passed away. Yeah, we try to talk about a lot of positive stuff here, but there's a lot of negative stuff that happened in this show. Let's talk about this right here, though. Can't believe I'm gonna fucking put this one out there. WWE had a show, a TV taping, and we had the legendary matchup of Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns taking on Rey Mysterio, Cody Rhodes, and Goldust.
Wow!
In a match where the Shield won that match. We also had a Curtis Axel and Ryback, known as Ryback,
Axel
took on Big E Langston and Mark Henry.
Oh boy!
Of course, wow. Big E and Mark Henry won that match. We had a Diva Survivor Series rematch with, and keep in mind, Natalya, Naomi, Cameron, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, JoJo, and Eva Marie took on Oksana, AJ Lee, Tamina, Summer Rae, Rosa Mendez, Alicia Fox, and Caitlyn.
That's the Divas era.
Was this Total Divas versus the women's roster?
Yes, it was.
Yes, and Total Divas won the match. we had Damian Sandow versus Dolph Ziggler in a hardcore match, which Damian Sandow won. We had Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper versus CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. It wasn't as Daniel Bryan in a 3-on-2 match.
Damn.
And it was a no contest. Did you? we had a Intercontinental Championship match: Kofi Kingston versus The Miz, and The Miz won. We had Xavier Woods with R-Truth, Cameron, and Naomi take on. Okay, this is the Julian match of the night because they took on the one-man rock band Heath Slater.
Hell
with Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal at ringside.
Yeah.
And Xavier Woods won the match.
You know who should have won?
Michael Cole talked about the history of WWE DVDs and took a moment to talk about the history of Saturday night's main event.
Oh.
Which I have the DVD for.
We had match number 8. We had Randy Orton and Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena and The Big Show. Cena and The Big Show won the match.
Did he turn heel?
And once again, Bob Ryder, founder of OneWrestling.com, longtime executive of Impact Wrestling, passed away. Mike Johnson from PW Insider penned the following message. PW Insider is extremely saddened to report the Impact Wrestling executive Bob Ryder passed away today following a long battle with cancer. Ryder had been battling cancer for a number of years, living beyond the 3 to 6 months that he was initially given. At one point, Ryder had beaten cancer and put it in remission, but he returned and he had undergone chemotherapy weekly while running shows in Nashville, Tennessee. Ryder was found this morning. He had last been contacted with TNA Impact Wrestling the night before, and we were told Bob Ryder was only 64 years old when he passed. So yeah, Bob Ryder has been, like I said, a legend in professional wrestling, columnist, ran TNA wrestling for a long time. Yeah, it was a sad day, but it was also a day full of professional wrestling history. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on the Roundtable Network News. I'm the franchise. That's Double J Josh James. That's the mixologist, Mr. Chemical Julian. That's your boy Husky from the Husky Funhouse. And we will see you guys when we see you with more of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
All the facts.
Bye.
Bye.